Hello statisticians, and welcome to 6.1 Random Variables. In this section we're taking a look at probability distributions, and one thing we do with probability distributions is ask what is the mean, variance, and standard deviation of that distribution. This video is going to take a look at how we can use Excel to calculate those values, because there's not an easy quick formula to get there on Excel. We do have to calculate it sort of by hand, but Excel can speed up those calculations for us. These formulas on the bottom are given to us by our textbook. We're going to use those to help us, first by finding the mean mu. The mean mu is the sum of all of the x's times their individual probabilities. So we're going to make a column for all of the x's times the individual probabilities. And we can do that on Excel by hitting equals, selecting the x, times, select the probability, and hit enter. Then, to copy that formula all the way down, I can select the cell, and in the bottom right corner there's this little dot that if I hover over and double click, it will copy the formula all the way down. We know that the mean, or mu, is equal to the sum of that column. So I can type equals, the sum, open a parentheses, select all the cells in that column, and when I hit tab, we find out the average of this distribution. The mean is 2.6. If we want to find the variance, or sigma squared, we can use the second formula. The second formula has several steps, and each step will get its own column. The first step, using order of operations in the parentheses, is to calculate x minus the mu. We can do that by hitting equals, select the x value, and then minus the mean, which we found out was 2.6. When I hit enter, we've got the difference. And then I can copy that formula down by selecting the dot in the bottom corner of the cell and double-clicking. The next step of the formula using order of operations is the exponent, to square those values. To square those values, I'll hit equals, select the difference we just calculated, shift 6 to get the caret or exponent key, and then 2 for squared. When I hit enter, we'll have squared that value. And again, I can select the cell and double-click the dot in the bottom corner to copy the formula down. The next part of the formula says we need to multiply those values by the probability. To do that, I can hit equals, select the squared value we just found, times, and then select the probability cell. When I hit enter, it'll give me the product, and I can select the cell and double-click the dot in the bottom right corner to copy the formula down. We know that the variance is the sum of all of those values. So I can hit equals, sum, open a parentheses, select those values, close the parentheses, and when I hit tab, we find the variance of my distribution is 2.44. Now usually we're actually interested in the standard deviation. That's what the third formula does for us, is get us the standard deviation, which is simply the square root of the variance that we just calculated. We can type equals, SQRT, open a parentheses, select the variance, close the parentheses, and when I hit enter, we find the standard deviation is 1.56.